Hey everybody, so today I want to share with you a really good example of a buy-to-let property, a property deal in the northeast of England, which generates around 20% cash yield. Just under 20%. It's actually about 17% cash yield and 23% true yield. So I wanted to share this example with you so that you can all see what types of deals are available now. These are really good property investments, I think, anyway. And I get these sorts of deals all the time. And this is off market, below market value. It's a good buy-to-let property in a good rental area. And these come about all the time for me. So this one is an example of a property that I have just been offered, and I wanted to show everybody the types of deals. So I'm going to go through what you need, what you actually get, what the deal actually is and how you can buy it, plus some due diligence that I've done, and also why the seller is selling. If it's a good rental, why are they selling it? And I'll also give you a couple of pros and cons to buying this property specifically. And by the way, I should probably say, if you want this property that I'm just about to show you, then send me a message, comment below, email me, and I will connect you with the selling agent. You don't pay me, just deal with the selling agent if you want to buy this property. But no sourcing agents, please. I do not work with sourcing agents that I do not know. Sorry, that sounds blunt, but every time I get a property like this, I get inundated with sourcing agents that want to try and source it from me. So no sourcing agents. If you are a sourcing agent, then get in touch as well, because I want to buy properties for myself. So I want to get to know more sourcing agents as well. And if we get to know each other, then I might be able to work with you in the future. If you're watching or listening to this later, then I get these types of deals all the time. So please do get in touch, and I look forward to hearing from you. Right. Okay. So this is the deal. This is the example of the buy-to-let, really good buy-to-let property opportunity that is currently available in the northeast. So what do you need to buy this property? Well, if you're buying it with a mortgage, then you will need around £35,000 of cash. And if you're buying it with cash, then you'll need £175,000 because that's the purchase price. And if you are buying it with a mortgage with £35,000, then what will you get from that? So first of all, you'll get a 17% cash yield from the rent profit. The total rent is £1,125. So you will get around 17% cash yield from that property deal. You'll probably actually get 23% as a true yield. And you've heard me, I did a podcast episode about true yield, about your actual yield from your property investments, which incorporates your rent, the appreciation of and the growth of the value of the property. So you'll get 17% cash yield, 23% true yield, and you'll also get £20,000 of free equity from day one. And that's after your legal fees, your stamp duty, your purchase costs. And this property can be bought with a straight buy-to-let purchase mortgage, or it can just be cash. Obviously, different cash requirements for those types of deals. But I thought this was the perfect property to buy with my below market value to let facility. That's what I've called it, BMV to let, which is basically where you need less cash to buy a property because you're buying it below market value. If you do want to take advantage of the BMV to let facility, then I'll just connect you up with the broker that has set all of this up for me. They can take you through all the information. Just comment below, contact me, email me, tom@pinkstreet.co.uk, or you can just message me through my Facebook page, perhaps. So that's what you get for your cash: 70% cash yield, 23% true yield, £20,000 free equity from day one. and you can use my BMV to let purchasing facility. What is the actual property deal? So first of all, this is a purpose-built block of 2 flats. Purpose-built, and they're built really well. These are really large flats as well. And it's got 1 2-bedroom property and 1 3-bedroom property. The purchase price is £175,000. The actual value of these properties is £215,000. Maybe a little bit more, but I like to be a bit conservative on these things. So it's a 35 grand discount. Now, you'll probably have to spend a few £1,000 on a light refurbishment, just bringing it up to date a little bit. But if I was buying this property myself, then I would spend 35 grand of my own cash in order to get £500 there or thereabouts in net profit per month. Not bad. And there's loads of evidence to support this value and these values as well. First of all, there's 3-bedroom properties literally in a very similar street or the street next to it and around that area. 2 of them have sold for £120,000 each. Remember, there's 2 flats here, by the way. You're buying 2 flats. But the 3 bedrooms have sold for around £120,000, £115,000, and £110 is the cheapest one. So that's pretty good. Really good comparison evidence there. And that's the key. You've got to have comparison evidence. And there's a 2-bedroom property which has sold for 115, and another 2-bedroom property which has sold for 105. So I've been reasonably conservative in saying that the gross value for both flats is about 215. Could well be, once you've spent a few grand giving it a touch up here and there, I think it could well be up into the 220s. So it's a really good deal. I think it's a really good deal anyway. The rent and sale demand is actually really high for this property, probably because Newcastle at the moment is a really high demand area and it's really targeted for growth. That's why I'm buying properties in and around Newcastle. There is millions being spent on development and infrastructure in Newcastle and around Newcastle. So I'm focusing a lot of my efforts up there as well. The only reason I'm not buying this is because I've got a bit too much going through at the moment, and I'm just going to wait until I get the cash back from those and then I'll reinvest. But so a couple of pros and cons about buying this type of property. So this might decide whether you are interested or not. But first of all, the pros to buying this property is you get a really good yield. If you've got cash sat in the bank, then you might as well invest it somewhere to get more. It's no good your cash sitting in the bank. And this is a good property that will generate some profit on the cash that you've got. So it's a strong yield. That's a good advantage to this property. Also, you get to spread your risk because you're buying 2 properties, which means if one tenant moves out and you've got an empty property for a month, you've still got the other one generating income. It's also a low cash requirement. If you use my BMV to let facility, I call it mine. It's not really mine. It's just I've been approved for it and I use it all the time. And it means that you can borrow 75% of the full market value, not 75% of the purchase price. It's an incredible service. Brilliant facility. It just means you need less cash to buy a property. So if you do want that, then if you want to take advantage of that lending facility, just contact me. I'll just connect you up with the broker that set it up. You don't pay me for any of that. I'll just connect you up. I just want to try and help. So anyway, those are some pros to buying this property. Some cons to buying this property. Number 1, up in the northeast right now, in the long term, you'll probably get less appreciation. These properties are really good for cash flow. So you'll get probably more cash flow or cash yield per month, but you'll probably get less capital growth over time. Now, that doesn't mean you have to keep it for 20 years. You might buy it now, take advantage of any more immediate, shorter term growth in value, and then sell it. Easy. But in the meantime, they provide really good cash flow. And the cons are, these are normally better for people that are going to invest remotely. I do all of my investing remotely. I don't need to go and drive up to Newcastle to see a property before I buy it. I quite often just rely on videos, photos, my own due diligence and evidence, and my own research. And I don't mind buying a property in that way. But remote investing is out of some people's comfort zones. Some people, for some reason, and I can't comment on anybody's feelings on this, but some people, for some reason, need to be in the property before they buy. And that's understandable. So if you are that person and you're uncomfortable investing remotely, then don't buy this property, but still contact me, because I have sourcing agents and selling agents in most of the good areas in the country that I've got my eye on. So yeah, contact me anyway. Like I say, I always invest remotely. I don't need to go and see a house to see what I've already seen in videos and photos and from all the actual evidence and facts and statistics and trends and my own due diligence. So if you want to learn a bit more about that, then let me know. I'm happy to share my techniques if you like. But anyway, back onto this property. The owner is selling this property because he's elderly, and his mortgage lenders have requested, I guess, instructed that he pay off some of that debt because of his age. And that's quite a normal thing. And also with this property, I always find that the Northeast has got this little sweet spot of between 75 or about 70,000 and 100,000 pound properties. They're the really good ones, I found, because you combine the good areas, high demand, with good rent returns and good cash flow. And they're always in demand. If I need to sell quickly, the properties that I've bought are in good areas that sell fast. So these are really good properties to invest in my opinion. Look, you buy your own properties, you take your own risks. But so just to recap then, this property right here, it's a purpose-built block of 2 flats. It generates a cash yield of, well, it depends on how you buy it and depends on what you do with it. But generally speaking, if I was buying this, then I would have a cash yield of 17% from the rent. I would have a 23% true yield, which includes the appreciation in this property. You would also get £20,000 of free equity from day one. And that's even after you've paid for legal fees, stamp duty, purchase costs, all that sort of stuff. People always forget about that. If you can get a property, if you can buy a property for below market value, or even for below, even if you get it for the total market value, including all of your fees and stamp duty, it's not a bad deal. Normally, you have to spend the money on the market value plus the stamp duty, legal fees, purchase costs, refurb costs, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, so this can be bought with a straight buy to let or with cash. It's up to you. If you want me to connect you up with my BMV to let facility, below market value to let, brilliant facility. Less cash, more properties. That's the way I see it. I'll just connect you up with the mortgage broker that set that facility up. Don't pay me for that or anything like that. It's a 2-bed and a 3-bed. They're very large. Purchase price is £175,000. Actual value is £215,000. Could be a bit more, like I say, but you're getting at least a £35,000 discount there. So if you want this property, the evidence is there for me. The deal is there for me. The yield is there for me. I think it's a decent property. I'm not buying it myself, but if you would like to buy this property, then just contact me. You can comment below and I'll just connect you up with the selling agent. Again, you don't pay me. I do this to try and help you out, and hopefully you'll become a customer of mine after you buy the property. Fingers crossed. But if not, at least you'll have a good deal, and I've got a good live video. I've got a nice podcast to go from this, and leave it at that. So let me know. And by the way, just to repeat for what I said earlier on, I get loads of these deals. So if you're listening to this a bit later and you missed this one, then contact me anyway, And depending on where you are or where you invest, I'll be able to find other properties for you because I get offered them all the time. People know what I do. They know about my podcast. They know about my social media. They know about me buying. I'm buying a lot of properties at the moment. I've done quite well with a few sales and a few refinances and a few other properties, and my business is doing well. So I'm buying a lot of properties at the moment. And that's what I like to do. So if you're a sourcing agent or an estate agent, get in touch. If you would like to buy properties like this one, or even better, or similar to this, let me know, and I'll see what can be done. Again, you don't pay me for that. All I'm asking is that you get in touch. All right. So speak to you all soon. Hopefully, take care.